So now, I'm not very good at doing this. I'm not very good at explaining things. Today I'm going to talk about a YouTuber who I am kind of a fan of, but also kind of like don't watch all of his videos. He is a YouTuber called Endless Jess. That's what he calls himself now. Back in the day, I think he was called Footwear Man. And before that, at some point, he was called the Horseshoe Man. Now he is called Endless Jess. And that is the name that he has decided to stay with, I think. So Endless Jess is a YouTuber. And the best way that I could come up with to describe him is that he is absolutely unhinged creativity. If you take creativity and you take away all of the chains and just let it drift and float in any direction that it wants to go, that would be what Endless Jess is. He's a YouTuber, he makes YouTube videos, and every single one of his YouTube videos is different. And that's saying something. It's different in format. He never makes the same video twice. It's always something different. Always something completely different. Where a normal YouTuber will take a formula, apply that formula very smoothly to something okay, if he's doing a video game review, he'll be like, okay, first I'm going to talk about the graphics and give the graphics a number for how good they are. Next, I'm going to talk about the gameplay and give a number for how good the gameplay is. Now I'm going to talk about the story and give a number for how good the story is. And then now I'm going to put those numbers together and put them all within. Now there's your score. Right? Most people would do that kind of review, or some form of that kind of review. Let's say there's a spectrum of YouTube video styles. On one end of the spectrum, there is the most formulaic, paint by numbers, whatever, anyone could make this kind of thing. Let's say that's like Cinema Sins. Cinema Sins is on that end of the spectrum. What am I going to do? I'm just going to point out all the stupid mistakes that don't make sense in this movie, and just give them a nice little number to tick them off or whatever. Just have a little number that ticks off as I count the number of mistakes that are in a movie. Simple. Anybody could do it, right? On the other end of the spectrum is the crazy videos that no one else could do but the person who made them. And I think Endless Jess would be all the way at the other end of that, all the way at the far, far, far end of that on the creativity scale. So, I guess I should probably give an example or something to demonstrate what I mean. So, he made a review of a game called Altered Beast. It is a game that was originally on the arcade, and then it came on the Sega Genesis. It's basically a game that's a side-scroller where you're this muscular dude, and you fight enemies, and you get to the next level, whatever. But the gimmick of this game is that there are these orbs that you run into eventually. There's a particular wolf that if you kill that wolf, it'll drop this orb. And if you catch one of these orbs, all of a sudden your character will get more buff. His shirt will start ripping, and then his muscles will get bigger. And then you get another orb, and then he gets even more buff. He gets bigger and bigger. And eventually, if you get 4 of these orbs, you transform into a beast, like a wolf or something like that. It's a different beast for every level. On one level it's a wolf, on another level it's a dragon, on another level it's a bear. So you transform into this beast, and then you have superpowers, and it's a lot easier to kill enemies. You could either move super fast, or you can shoot lightning or fire out of your mouth, or you can whatever. It's very fun, especially for a kid to play, and especially when that's the kind of games that you played in the arcade. Whatever. Endless Jess made a review of this game. And for the introduction of that review, he starts off by going into this monologue about how humanity has constantly kind of been at war with the instinctual side of itself, and it's been trying to quell the instinctual, humanity has this instinctual need to have sex, to kill people, to eat, to do that kind of thing. That's what humanity has always had, and humanity's constantly been trying to, by building law, and by building cities, and by having religions, humanity has constantly been trying to quell that beast within. And then he says, but it's never been able to quell. And what is that beast that we call it? What is that instinctual drive, that beast that we call, what's that beast within? And then he just yells, Altered Beast! Ah! For a whole a whole minute while he's walking toward his shelf and grabbing the video game Altered Beast and putting it into the Sega Genesis. And then immediately he stops yelling, and he sits down on the couch, and immediately he stops yelling and says, Altered Beast was made in 1986 by blah, 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 and goes on with the review. That's what I mean when I say kind of like weird, just very, very creative. And in that same video, he comes to a point where he starts reading other people's reviews of the game, and other people are not looking at him at the game as favorably as him. They're saying like it's a mediocre game. It was mediocre even when it came out, and blah blah blah. And he gets more and more angry, and then all of a sudden he starts turning into a beast, and then he paints like the word "I am a bear" on like a white T-shirt, puts that T-shirt on, and then goes into this weird song where he says, "I'm a fucking bear. I'm a bear." So yeah. I would say that Endless Jess is probably the just unhinged creativity. That's how I would describe him. I don't know if he's I don't know if many people would enjoy watching him because of how unhinged he is. Like most people are in the camp where they start feeling awkward if someone starts doing too many weird things. And so if they watched an Endless Jess video, they would be like, "What is going on? What is this? I don't like it." But yeah, his unhinged creativity, that would be one way I have to describe him. He's also, I don't know. He's a lot smarter than he appears. Like it looks like he's an idiot because he's doing very idiotic looking things, but he's actually very analytical and very good at he's very good at breaking down what works in his story and what doesn't work in his story, to the point where like if you actually watch one of his analytical videos where he goes into analysis, he actually did like a review series of My Little Pony season 4 at one point, episode by episode, and at that point, he kind of just showed how smart he was by analyzing the characters like better than any other person on YouTube was analyzing the characters. It was amazing. Is there anything else I can say about Endless Jess? Because I need to do these. I need to do these kinds of podcasts a little bit more unhinged. Like I keep on trying to think, well, how do I explain that? How do I explain what Endless Jess is? And I still don't think I've done Endless Jess any justice in trying to explain how cool and how interesting and how unhinged. Like Endless Jess, he's described himself this way too, but he's the kind of YouTube creator that if you ever want to be a YouTube creator, you should watch his videos, because he will make you into a better YouTube creator, because unhinged creativity gives you ideas for what you can do with your hinged creativity, right? You see him with his looseness and his ability to just, or his bravery to just like go with whatever he wants to go with, and it inspires you to maybe like go a little bit more with what you want to go with. He's that kind of person. He's the kind of person who makes people into better versions of themselves. So if you do want to be a YouTube creator, not many people have seen his videos. He is not that popular because he doesn't appeal to the popular kind of things. Like he doesn't talk about the popular things, and he doesn't make the kind of videos that are like mass marketable, because a lot of them are very uncomfortable to watch because he's unhinged and it's interesting. But at the same time, I think he's been described as the creator's creator. Like if you are a creator and you watch him, you will get inspired, or maybe you won't. I don't know. But it's really cool. Watch some of his videos. That's all I can say. Yeah, this is the end. This is the end of the Kokino Podcast. I have made it about 9 minutes and 22 seconds. That's pretty good. Have a good day. Have a good life. I hope you all create awesome things, or I hope you all, if you're going to be something other than an artist, I hope whatever you pursue, whether it be sports, whether it be building great houses, whether it be architecture, whatever it is, do the best job that you can, because it's always more fun to do the best job that you can. That's all I have to say. I will see you guys next time.